I actually had tried Dreamtime before. I sent La Rambla, and afterwards I was like so psyched that I went to Ticino just for for fun. And I tried the stand of Dreamtime, which is V12, and I couldn't do it, couldn't do all the moves, nowhere close, and was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to way level up if that's ever gonna be something that I can try.
This is Climbing Gold. How do you decide which climbing projects are worth the kind of commitment? Like, how do you decide that Dreamtime is worth it?
Bouldering has never been my sole focus, and 2024 was the year that I really wanted to kind of change that and see what I could do in that discipline. So I knew I wanted to go to Ticino because there's such a high density of really hard boulders in that area. And I actually had tried Dreamtime before. I sent La Rambla, and afterwards I was so psyched that I went to Ticino just for fun, kind of like a relaxed trip to just boulder because I'd been sport climbing and to check it out. And I had friends who were there. And so I just went for 2 weeks quick trip, and I tried the stand of Dreamtime, which is V12. And I couldn't do it, couldn't do all the moves, nowhere close, and was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to way level up if that's ever gonna be something that I can try. So going into the trip this fall, I was not thinking that it was going to go down because I was remembering how hard it was for me in the past. So I had a list of several boulders on my list that I wanted to try, but Dreamtime was the first one that I went to, and I did all of the moves in my first session except for the top out, and was like, oh my God, I have leveled up. And it was the one, I mean, first V15, it's Dreamtime. It's gorgeous. It's insane. It was on the top of my list. So kind of after that first session, I was like, all right, I'm locked in.
Can you describe Dreamtime? How many moves is it? Like, how does it break down? Like, what is it?
Yeah, so Dreamtime is actually a fairly long boulder. It's sit start, very technical edges with super technical heel hooks, and it's I don't know, maybe 20 between 15 and 20 moves. And you have to keep body tension the whole time. The individual moves, when you do them correctly, don't feel so hard, but if you are a little bit out of the position, that's where it gets cruxy. And it kind of all culminates on this stand start V12, which is off of two razor crimps. And it's a giant move to the left and then a giant move to the right, followed by a technical V8 top out.
Wow.
Like,
So when you were saying that you practice the top out, that's like a technical V8.
yeah, it's heel hooky, body tensiony, and then you have to mantle up, fully kind of font style, just push up.
That's not scary to do by yourself if you're like totally maxed out of your, you've just climbed the hardest thing in your life and you're totally pumped and you're like, oh, this is kind of a scary top out.
If I had fallen at the top on after sending the hard part, let me roll down the hill. Just I'm gonna keep rolling all the way to the parking. I would be so devastated.
You're willing to break both your ankles in that case because you're like, I deserve it.
Yeah. I don't know. But I do think having kind of an endurance background helped me on that boulder. It was definitely my style, which is
Hmm.
cool. I spend a lot of time trying my anti-style to level up, but then to do something in my style and feel really strong and powerful is also a cool feeling.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the saying like train your weaknesses, but then play to your strengths. It's like
Yeah.
if you're going to perform, like perform the thing that you're best at.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
that's why I solo a lot of 5'9", 5'10". I'm like, that is a real personal strength.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting hearing you question me climbing alone and not having that motivation when you spend so much time climbing alone as well.
yeah, but you don't have to try that hard. You're not like there's no risk of falling. Like climbing on easy terrain, it's just like it's so easy. It's so relaxing. I mean, I love
Yeah.
climbing by myself, but it's just for me, it's hard to summon that like just like summon the beast like full fire.
Yeah.
I
You
find it
need
slightly easier if there's somebody else there, like or especially
screaming
with
at you.
well, not necessarily that, but I really do find spotting to like with bouldering when you just don't really know how you're gonna fall and you're gonna land on your head on some weird thing. I
Yeah.
suppose if you've worked a boulder long enough and like with enough control and you just like know where you're gonna fall and how it's gonna be, then maybe. but I've like never really done solo bouldering sessions. Like I don't know if there's a single boulder in the world that I care about enough to like work on like that,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think the landing is very flat and like very chill, and I made sure that it was safe. And there's other boulders that I wouldn't have tried alone. It just worked out. There's tons of pads up there at Dreamtime, so I felt comfortable the whole time. And like I
Mm.
had the top like dialed, like super dialed.
Yeah, no, I mean it's amazing. So your 2024, did it feel like a breakout year for you, or does it just feel like the product of so many years of hard work and and just having a little more time since you finished your education? How does it feel for you personally?
I think I've had kind of a linear trajectory in climbing where I like haven't made any huge jumps in grades with my sending. It's kind of been like one step after the other. Um, with bouldering, I would say it was like maybe more of a breakout year for me just because I never spent that much time actually doing it. And so like starting in Waco and then going to Rocklands and then Ticino felt like I was really leveling up in that discipline. But I had like sent multiple V14s, AP plus before Dreamtime. So I don't think it was necessarily like a shock to myself that I had done
Yeah.
it.
But isn't
But
that the funny thing though with sort of breakthroughs like that is that from the outside you can be first woman to climb 515 V15, this is sick, and you're kind of like, well, actually, I only added one grade to my bouldering and had a pretty good trip here and there. You're like, yeah, this is just the product of years of hard work and just like a slight improvement. But to the
yeah,
outside public, you'd be like, that's incredible. Like it's just so, like that's such a big leap.
yeah, I think it for me, climbing V15 and 515 was cool because when I started climbing, that was like the
The
level.
limit.
That's
Yeah.
when like Fred put up Dreamtime in 2000, Chris did Biography in 2001. So for me, that was like the golden standard. I'm like 6 years old and that's what's happening. And it's not something that I really thought I was capable of until much more recently. So it was cool to be at that top level. And they were inspiring me when I was in kindergarten. And now there's people in kindergarten, kids in kindergarten who can look to me and be inspired. And that's so cool.